Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. The flowering begins in the vineyard. If you've been following the channel, I am showing the different stages, the different major stages of the EL system, the modified EL system, which is basically just a way to identify at what stage your grapevines are at. And this stage is the beginning of flowering. You could see there's a native bee on that flower right there. And the flowers are actually the grapes, and there are thousands and thousands of native bees in here. They're all pretty much the same one. Well, actually, there's a couple different ones, but there is a whole lot of that real tiny little bee. And these are solitary bees. They're not hive bees. So I don't know if they even store this pollen or if they just use it right away. You could see a tiny bee right there with his legs just loaded with pollen. That's a really tiny one. Let's see if we can find a little bit bigger one. Yeah, we got a lot of wind damage. You can see it on the ground here. The last video I did down here was about damage in the vineyard, and you can see there's new stuff here, and that's fairly typical. At this stage in the shoot's life, they are very fragile, like this one right here. I'm surprised that one hasn't broken yet, but any bit of wind will break that right off. I don't want those straight up growing branches to start with, but I'm going to be doing shoot positioning a little bit later in the week, so I'll show you how to deal with that stuff then. This vine right here is in full bloom. You can see all the white pollen on these. It's not a super spectacular flower, but that is the flower. And then when the flowering stops, these little balls are going to swell up, and those will become the grapes. Yeah, this definitely needs positioning, but it's kind of touch and go at this time of year, because if I were to pull this down even a little bit, it might just snap off and fall to the ground. Like this one is almost long enough to go to the wire. So I really do got to get down here and do some positioning. This one is snapped off. It actually may live. It's not really super wilted yet. Sometimes they crack in half and hang straight down like that, but they survive to the end of the year, so we'll let that one go for now. When I come in here to shoot position, I'll pull all these off, and then Natalie and I generally clean them all up, take them over there and burn them. Yeah, look at all these. That one is shot. But the ones that are left, the ones that make it, are going to have plenty of grapes. All right, that one made it to the catch wire. You could see what I was talking about earlier about getting that last spray in here. Looks like I might be able to get in here and get one more spray in. These weeds, at this point, they're just going to start growing like crazy, and then you get competition right at the wire there. And we don't want that. Yeah, lots of wind damage. It's been so windy lately. And when I shoot position, I generally just put that over to the wire. It'll grab a hold of the wire itself at some point. But generally I snip it off. But if you snip it off too soon, it may just pop up and come off the wire. These grapes are pretty low. I'd rather have them up in the first foot, but I guess it is what it is. There's another tiny little native bee. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there is just millions of them in here. I really need to build my bee house. I was looking at them online. Somebody sent me pictures of them, and I think it's a real cool idea. I don't know if they'll move in or not, but the bee houses themselves just look so cool. Yeah, in this one little area, I can see, oh, it's at least 20 of these little bees. There's, what, 2 of them on that leaf right there, but just tons of them out flying. Yeah, tons of carnage here. This is why you don't shoot them too early. So it looks like I got to get in here real soon and do the shoot positioning, which is getting them onto the wire and tying them if need be, and cleaning out the dead stuff and taking off some of the stuff that's going straight up, and also untangling some of these big tangles like this. They connect to each other with their tendrils, and they will make a big mat that goes like straight out like this, and you don't want that. You want them hanging down and going to the wire. Yeah, actually I could do that right now, but I really can't. I have other stuff I have to get done today, and I'm pretty much spoken for tomorrow as well. Wow, I just saw 4 different kinds of bees all in this little spot right here. That's crazy. No honeybees though. There's no honeybees in this area. But honeybees are an introduced species, so it's not unusual to not have honeybees here. It's the natural state. Yeah, this is kind of a mess. And there is a lot of damage from the wind. Look at all that fruit that's not going to make it. But look at all this fruit that is going to make it. Save me from doing fruit thinning. Yeah, see this tendril right here? That's keeping this from hanging down on the other side. This should be on the other side. It's on the other side of the wire, and if it continues to grow like this, it's just going to create a mess over here, and it needs to be on the other side and hanging down. This one is really nice, but I'm afraid if I push it down to the wire, it's going to snap at its end. At a certain point, you don't have to worry about that anymore, but I don't think it's quite there yet. Look at all the dead stuff laying around. It's just everywhere. Yeah, I really got to get down here soon. Maybe I'll call the guy who's going to buy this wine and see if he wants to come down and help. He wanted to do something in the vineyard this year, and that would be a good thing to do. All right. Let's go check another row, and that'll wrap it up for flowering in the vineyard. Flowers everywhere. Flowers and little bees. There's a little green bee, like that one there. That might actually be a hornet, but he's full of pollen, so he is definitely a pollinator. Look at all these pollinators. Look at all this damage too. Yeah, this stuff like this. This one right here should be cut off, and that one should go down to the wire. And that one is dead. Yeah, I definitely need to get out here, but I have so much other stuff to do. Lots and lots of damage. But this happens every year. This is a super busy place today. All right, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. It's gonna be in the 90s today. It's gonna be just blazing hot, and it's gonna be that way for at least the next 10 days. So the next time I get down here, it's gonna have to be early morning or at night. And it'll have to wait a couple days because I'm working on the ceiling in the breezeway project right now. And I'm right in the middle of that and can't stop. Oh, check that out. These are the caps. The caps drop off and then the pollen comes out. But they're usually not caught like that. Here's a bunch too. This is a bunch of heavy flowering right here. These bees are going nuts. Okay, that's gonna wrap this up. If you've never seen grapes flowering before, well, now you have. It's nothing really spectacular unless you own a vineyard. Then it's awful cool. So the next video is going to be shoot positioning and shoot thinning all in one, and it's probably going to take an entire day. I know it's going to take an entire day. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.